Hi, my name is David Gawley from Pentagon Solutions, and I'm going to have a look at using open source Northern Ireland WMS web mapping service on ESRI shapefile datasets in AutoCAD Map and Civil 3D. I'm in my Civil 3D interface. I could be still using Map 3D as well, and some of the datasets that we're going to have a look at online is from the open data ni.gov.uk. There are other sources as well that you can use, other UK data sets, and you can actually get access to some data sets through Geological Survey. So if we browse the data sets in here, we can scroll down and look at where we're actually using WMS data. So we can specifically look for this type of data. And essentially this is a standard protocol using a web mapping service. So we can browse down, have a look. I'm going to look for the transportation information. So we've got transportation points and text in here. I'm going to use the transport line. So if I click on the link, we'll see that we can get a connection to the web mapping service. So again, if I can just explore that, all I need to do is simply copy the actual link. Back in my AutoCAD map interface, we can make a connection to the data. It's quite important that the coordinate system is set up to start with. As well, I've got this based on my template, so I'm just going to simply connect into the data. I'm going to call this transport. Put in my link. It may have login credentials here. It's just going to simply hit login, and it will give me a connection to this actual data set. So there'll be a range of data sets in here, from the lines to the points to the text. I can simply click them all and hit add to the map. So that makes a call to the online mapping service, and that will bring the mapping information to the screen. What's interesting about this is my template's configured for Irish Grid. The data is actually coming in from WGS 84, latitude and longitude, but because Map 3D understands this in Civil 3D, it'll make the translation. So again, as we zoom in, it will refresh the data set for me, or we can manually refresh it on the actual map task pane as well. So we can see that in context. I'm going to actually bring in some of my GeoMap road information in the background. And again, you can see that's being brought in context to the area. So it's a great way to connect into open source data. You can remove that information by just simply hitting untick on it. If there's other data sets you want access to, one particular one I'm going to use here is the British Geological Survey data set for the bedrock data, and I'm just going to connect in. Again, I've got my connection string already established here, and I can simply select all the data sets that I want to bring in and add that to the map. Again, this data set's in latitude and longitude. I'm on Irish Grid. It will make the translation or conversion as it brings it in. So I'm a bit close in here, so I'm going to simply zoom out, and again it will resample the data. And if we don't want the background mapping on, we can just simply tick it off. I've got this information on my tool palette to make it a wee bit easier for me. So we can see the geological survey information for Northern Ireland, and we can actually see parts of England, Scotland and Wales as well. Okay, so sometimes we might want to use the web mapping service. We might want to actually download this data and information. So I'm going to remove the data sets in here. Simply going to go into remove. So you can browse the open source data, and you can look at other types of data sets that you can actually download as well. So if I was looking for a particular data set, say in a shapefile, I could click on the shapefile, and we could see we've got potential data records in here that we can actually use. I'm going to browse down and have a look for some of the Ordnance Survey ones. I'm going to take that and just filter back out again. And I'll take it into LPS to actually look for the data sets. So one particular data set I'm interested in is the 10K grid. So if I click on the 10K grid, you'll actually see that there's different file formats you can actually use. You can simply download the shapefile format, When that's downloaded, it comes in as a zip file, so you can see the actual structure of it. It'll give you the actual shapefile itself, which is the format of the data. It may give you a projection file, which is against the Irish grid. It'll also give you any attribute data simply linked to that. And to introduce that into your map environment, normally what I would do is just do a drag and drop directly from the shapefile itself. So I can simply drag and drop that in directly into the map, and it will bring the data to the screen. So now I have the vector data actually in the screen environment. Again, we can see that in context to the road map in the background. And it's data rich as well, so if we have a look at the table, we'll see that we get to see all the sheet tiles as well as part of that. We can do a very simple theme on that. So if we edit the style, I could go in and change the style. May want to see information underneath it, or we may want to add a label to it. So we can give it an element of transparency in there. Say if I make it 50%. So we can just see underneath it. We can edit the style as well and add the feature label in. Feature label that I may want to use, it will be looking at the data in the actual data set itself. So I'm going to say the name of the sheet tile. So I can get to see the name of the sheet tile, and I've got a bit of a transparency in the background. So that's having a look at some of the open source data sets that's available as a web mapping service and a shapefile. Thanks for listening.